Attention! Go!
So already underway with the next of our races. This is the Ladies Challenge Plate, Intermediate 8s, one step down from the Grand Challenge Cup. On your right, Oxford Brookes University A, their top crew in this ladies event. And on the left, we've got Leander Club, which again, this is their only boat in this event, Mark.
And this is such a big rivalry. These two clubs, crews going against each other, Leander and Oxford Brookes, in many events over the last decades, isn't it? They've been kind of going head to head. And obviously the ladies is a huge kind of title that Leander haven't won for a while now, so they're dying to get it back. But this is their kind of lead boat. And obviously Brookes have got a phenomenal system with their men's programme at the moment.
Yeah, there they are, Oxford Brookes University, looking to hold on to the title that they've won for the last 3 years on the bounce in this ladies challenge plate, but they are not going to get it easily. Leander Club, this is a top crew for them, second in the Open 8s at Met Regatta, and they are moving back now on Oxford Brookes' early lead. A bit of a kick there, I think, to keep contact, because they know they have to be in the race off the start with Brookes if they've got any chance.
And that's so important at Henley, isn't it? You know, you don't have another 4 boats to feed off and race against. You have to stay in contact with your competition at all times, because we talk about out of sight, out of mind. And it's so important that Leander really dig deep now as they find their rhythm and really hold on to this Brookes crew.
Yeah, and in the stroke seat for Leander, Freddie Allinson, the ex-Newcastle University athlete that took Newcastle to row through Brown in the enclosures back in 2019. So you can see him there setting the pace in the stroke seat. And, well, if any man's going to row through Brookes, that's who you want there. Someone that's got the experience of being to take the boat to another gear when they need it.
And obviously all these athletes from Leander are really hungry, because none of them have won at Henley. You know, they've never won on the final stage, so that's another thing that they're dying to get to that final, to have that opportunity to try and win at the regatta. So, you know, I'm sure that the Cocks will be making sure that every ounce of energy they have is going into making sure they stay right next to this Brookes crew. Well,
there are Oxford Brookes, and this really is a big boat for Brookes. You can see Matt Aldridge there in the 6th seat, his head poking out, one of the most prominent men on the screen, a 4-time Henley winner himself, and he's backed up by many other Henley winners around him, backing him up. Michael Glover in the 5th seat, the Temple winner from 2016, and he was part of that crew that won the ladies for Brookes back in 2017 and 2019 respectively. So they've already got people that have won this trophy sat here in this crew, Mark, and they look unstoppable, don't they?
Yeah, and that experience is invaluable. You know, you can't beat actually racing the regatta, and not just racing, but actually winning. But not just winning once, winning several times, and having several members that have actually experienced that. So that insight will just feed through the crew, and the confidence they will have in that they've been here and done it before.
Well, Oxford Brookes can't quite shake the overlap that Leander have. I'm sure they'll want to snap that elastic band sooner rather than later. Scott Cockle in the coxswain seat for Oxford Brookes, the under-23 silver medalist from 2019, where he guided the men's coxed 4 down the course. He's got 4 more men to look after now here for Brookes, but expertly so, trying to break free of the grip that the men in Cerise have on them. It's still not quite clear water, I don't think, yet, Mark.
Yeah, they still haven't broken contact or broken the chain. They're still kind of attached to them, and that's so important for Leander in the next 200 metres that Brookes don't get away, because if they do get away, normally things just open up very quickly. So yeah, as we kind of move from Remington to the regatta enclosures, it's such an important period, because that's the kind of quiet period as you really move into the middle of the river. We're just hoping that Leander can stay in contact at that point.
Leander just look like they've got a little bit sharp around the catch. I don't know if there's been a call made, but you can just see how direct that placement is of the blades. They're just trying to pick things up, because Oxford Brookes next to them are really rhythmical, and I think they've got a few centimetres of overlap still, Leander, and they need to be in this race. It's also worth mentioning Oxford Brookes need to have a think about conserving some energy, and we talk about that a lot for later stages in the regatta and for the final tomorrow, but they've actually got 4 guys who are doubling up into the visitors later on this afternoon. So Lindsay, Rowe, Jenkins and Aldridge all racing in the visitors. You know, they've got 1 race to tick off now, but racing in 2 Henley semi-finals. I mean, I definitely couldn't do it. I don't know about you, Mark.
I couldn't do it right now, that's for certain. But yeah, it's that conserving energy, obviously the recovery element of that. We've seen it in our events. We saw at the Olympics, people trying to double up and came in unstuck basically because not having enough time to recuperate. And obviously with the Henley course, we talk about the length of the course being more, 2,112 metres. The wind conditions today, it's a slight headwind, so it's still slow. That sapping of energy that you have, it just drains it out of you. So this is when obviously they'll be trying to think about how they end this race quickly. But obviously Leander are going to keep them under pressure.
Keeping them under pressure they are. I think that's now a canvas of overlap. It is a bit too late, and I don't want to speak too soon, but I think they've left it a bit too late. But they are coming back on Oxford Brookes. They are not going to let them have this easily, even if that means that's affecting them for later in the regatta. Leander on the Berkshire station, coming through the enclosures, trying desperately to move through the phases, but Oxford Brookes just proving too much for them. Once again, the same story, time and time again. Oxford Brookes will triumph in this Saturday of the Ladies Challenge Plate for Henley Royal Regatta. And again, must say, we'll be seeing them in the Grand Challenge Cup tomorrow. 8 entirely different athletes who are the 8 fastest athletes. This is their second tour, effectively. And they've just comfortably won over Leander's top boat by about 3/4 of a length. There they are, Oxford Brookes, the victors in the Ladies Challenge Plate Saturday.